How many knew the man who was cursed to forever hold the earth? How many have seen the image of a mighty figure, his knees bent, his arms trembling beneath the weight of the world, and wondered who he was? That man is Atlas, a name that echoes through time, carved in the legends of Greek mythology. His story is not just about punishment, but endurance, about a titan whose strength defied the will of the gods. A warrior, a rebel, and a symbol of eternal suffering. Atlas's tale begins long before Olympus rose, when titans ruled the cosmos, and gods were yet to be born. And today I will be telling the story of this man. When gods and titans clashed like storms against mountains, Atlas stood tall among his kin. A titan of immense strength, his broad shoulders seemed carved from the cliffs of Arthries, his eyes burning with the fire of ambition. The Titans, children of Gaia and Uranus, ruled the cosmos with raw power, and Atlas was their warlord, a strategist whose voice could rally tempests. Atlas dreamed not of servitude but of a world where Titans would reign eternal, free from the whims of their divine successors, the Olympians. The Titanomachy, when the Great War, erupted when Zeus, the upstart god, challenged Cronus, Atlas's father. Atlas led the charge, wielding a spear forged from star metal, his roars shaking the heavens. "We are the roots of creation," he bellowed to his brothers and sisters. "No godling will uproot us." But Zeus's lightning was relentless, and the Olympians' cunning outmatched Titan brawn. For 10 years, the earth trembled, seas boiled, and skies bled fire. When the final battle came, Atlas fought until his spear shattered and his body bled rivers. Yet, the Titans fell. Bound in chains, Atlas knelt before Zeus, his pride unbowed but his heart heavy with defeat. The young god's eyes gleamed with both wrath and pity. "Atlas," Zeus declared, "your strength is unmatched, but your ambition is a threat to the cosmos. You will bear a burden to match your might." Atlas's fate was sealed, not with chains, but with a curse that would echo through eternity. The curse was no mere punishment, it was a monument to Atlas's defiance. Zeus did not bind him to Tartarus like his kin. Instead, he placed upon Atlas's shoulders the celestial sphere, the vast dome of the heavens, studded with stars and heavier than mortal minds could fathom. "Hold it," Zeus commanded, "or the heavens will crash upon the earth, and all you fought for will be ash." Atlas staggered under the weight. His muscles screamed, his bones groaned, and the stars above seemed to mock him with their cold light. At the edge of the world, where sea met sky, he stood alone, his feet rooted to a jagged peak. The earth below quaked with each step he took, as if Gaia herself mourned her son's fate. Days blurred into nights, seasons into centuries. The curse was not just physical, it was eternal solitude, a sentence to watch the world turn while he remained still, a living pillar. Yet Atlas endured. His titan's heart refused to break. He whispered to the stars, naming them as companions: Sirius, Betelgeuse, Polaris. He sang to the winds, tales of his lost battles, hoping his voice might reach his imprisoned kin. But the heavens pressed harder, and his pride began to crack. "Is this my legacy?" he wondered. "To hold what I cannot rule?" Centuries passed, and mortals began to whisper of the giant at the world's edge. Sailors spoke of a mountain that breathed, a man whose sighs stirred storms. One day, a young hero named Heracles, burdened by his own labors, sought Atlas. His task: to retrieve the golden apples from the garden of the Hesperides, nymphs who danced under Atlas's shadow. Heracles, bold and weary, climbed the peak where Atlas stood. "Titan," he called, "I seek the apples. Aid me, and I will ease your burden." Atlas's eyes, dimmed by ages of strain, flickered with hope. "Take the heavens," he said, "for a moment, and I will fetch them." Heracles, trusting yet cautious, shouldered the sky. The weight crushed his mortal frame, but he held firm. Atlas returned with the apples, his steps lighter than they had been in eons. For a fleeting moment, he tasted freedom. He looked at Heracles, struggling under the celestial sphere, and temptation whispered, "Leave him. Walk away." But Atlas saw in Heracles a reflection of his own defiance, a soul wrestling with fate. With a heavy heart, he took back the heavens. "Go, hero," he said. "Your labors are not mine." Heracles departed, and Atlas was alone again, his brief respite a cruel memory. The encounter with Heracles rekindled Atlas's fire. He began to question the curse, to test its limits. Could he shift the weight? Could he trick the gods? He spoke to the stars, seeking secrets in their patterns. He listened to the earth, hoping Gaia might guide him. One night, a faint voice answered, a nymph, a spirit of the mountain, who pitied him. "You cannot break the curse," she said, "but you can endure with purpose. The heavens you hold are not just a burden, they are the order of the cosmos. Without you, the stars would fall, the seasons would falter, and mortals would perish." Atlas scoffed, his pride flaring. "I am no servant to mortals." Yet her words lingered. Was his suffering a necessity? Or was it Zeus's final jest? He began to notice the world below, mortals building cities, sowing fields, singing of gods and heroes. Their fragility moved him, and their resilience echoed his own. For the first time, Atlas wondered if his curse was not just punishment but a strange honor. Still, rebellion simmered. He would find a way to defy Zeus, to prove his strength was more than a yoke. Millennia passed, and Atlas remained, a sentinel at the world's edge. The gods faded into myth, their temples crumbling, but Atlas endured, his curse unbroken. Mortals now called him a mountain, his form half merged with stone, his face weathered into crags. Yet his eyes still burned, and his heart still beat with Titan fire. One day, a poet climbed the peak, seeking the truth of the old tales. He saw Atlas, not as a mountain, but as a man, his shoulders unbowed despite the weight. "Why do you hold on?" the poet asked. Atlas's voice, rough as thunder, replied, "Because I must. Because the heavens are heavy, but my will is heavier." The poet wrote of Atlas, not as a cursed titan, but as a symbol of endurance, of defiance against fate. Mortals began to honor him, leaving offerings at his feet, praying for strength to bear their own burdens. Atlas, once a rebel, became a guardian in their eyes. He did not accept this role willingly, but he felt its weight, lighter than the heavens but deeper. And so, Atlas stands, holding the sky, his curse both punishment and purpose. The stars still sing to him, the earth still whispers, and his heart, though weary, beats on. For he is Atlas, the titan who carries the cosmos, not because he was forced, but because he chooses to endure. What do you think about Atlas' story? Do you think is a purpose, or a curse? Make sure to drop your thought about this story.